Thank you everyone for joining us today at Levittown Public Library's posture alignment class with Kimberly. Today is Monday, October 3rd at 11 a.m. Go ahead, Kim.
Thank you, Hitomi. Welcome back, everybody. Guys on the Zoom, if you did want to ask me anything, you do have to unmute yourself in order to ask. And I know we're recording now, so if you don't want your voice heard, you don't have to unmute yourself, but you can also type. And Hitomi can relay that information to me. So if you want to type in the chat, if you've got any questions or anything like that, Hitomi is watching, so you can type in there and she'll let me know. Does anybody have anything that they want to do today, not do today? Questions on any stuff? You liked the first class better than the second class? No, of course not. That's why it's recorded and it's put on YouTube. So that's why. Hey guys.
Someone said neck and shoulders, Kim.
Yes, I've got 2 people that want that. Okay, fantastic. Thank you for letting me know. So guys, one of you was explaining that they loved the first class and the second class not so much. So when you guys experience different parts of this routine and you realize, ooh, that's really good. Are you hitting the point where you're remembering these exercises or writing them down or remembering a sequence or doing anything afterwards? Taking them home? So do you want me to do the same class over and over and over again because you'll never, ever do it at home? Right, yes, okay. So here's what you can do. Go online to the YouTube and you can watch that class as much as you want. You can even download it if you want to.
Yeah, is it on your computer?
Yeah, it's on. All right. Well, then I guess you're sunk. I guess you're sunk. So I can hold everybody's hand as close as I can, but yeah. Yes. What were you saying? Guys, I'm listening to Pat right now.
Minutes, and sometimes I'm borderline, like I want to take a walk and make sure what my back is doing. I do these 8 exercises. I feel like, oh, there's where my head is.
I see. Good share, Pat. So just for you guys out there, Pat was sharing that, well, she's been with me for over a year now. So she does a certain 8 exercises. And if she doesn't do them before she goes out walking, she doesn't feel that same alignment. So she knows these certain exercises over the course of time that she's been working with her own body, she's figured out which ones are good for her. So I hope you guys that are new, you're starting to figure this out and remember these exercises, take them home and get on the internet if you can't. But if you can, do it. Please do. Where are we going today? What are we doing? Hooray. You do have good choices, Pat. So you said 8 exercises. What are your 8?
You know, I can say 8 exercises if you're okay. What you're doing, it keeps you that way.
You can say the word. I just don't because I'm kind of fed up. So. Okay.
Simple arm.
Those are toughies. Let's start there. Okay. That's a tough routine. All right. Pat's got our routine for today. We're not going to hit it right off the bat. I'll warm you up and then we'll get into it. We're going to start out in a standing position today. I am going to do some stuff for neck and back, of course. Can't help that you guys decided to get on the floor. Get up, get down. We're going to do more of that. So guys, just a reminder, if anything doesn't feel right, if something hurts in the bad way, just stop the movement. I'll give you as many modifications as I can. Let's do a little assessment. Just feel yourself where you're at right now. Not a bad idea to just check out where you are, even if you've been doing this for years, just as a reminder of how quickly things can change. Whoa. Okay. So we know where my weight loves to be on that right side, left side, not as aligned, which is why my body loves to shift it here where it's more aligned and it can recruit more. Just food for thought. Okay, So I'm just going through some of those functional tests. Remember, every exercise is also a functional test. So you can do an exercise and then come back to it and go, oh, it feels different now. Everything can be a functional test. We're going to start out standing pigeon-toed. Not always the best, for I know some of you, internal rotation from your hips is not a good thing. But as time goes on and you're doing all of these exercises, eventually it might become a neutral thing. So it's not really a big deal for you. If standing pigeon-toed is not cool for you, you can stand with your feet straight. For some of you, you're kind of stuck here and you go anywhere out of there, that might hurt. So maybe static back for you today. So there could be so many different things that bother you and I won't know, which is why I need you guys to listen to your own bodies. Anybody got any stories, any fun things that happen you want to talk to me about or make everybody laugh? I'm going to stay here for a couple minutes. I'm sick of hearing myself talk. Remember, when you do pigeon-toed, what the heck do we want to do with the knees? Yeah, good assumption. Keep them straight. Want to keep them straight. Where do you want the toes to be? Flat.
I was feeling under, I just know that.
Okay, now, okay, so she was saying flat. And instead of me going, no, I started to think, gee, what does she mean by flat? Do they have to be flat? And her response was her toes started curling. So I learned something today by keeping my mouth shut like I normally do, right? So her toes tend to curl. Does anybody know why her toes might be curling? Right, to grip the floor. Why are her toes curling to grip the floor?
So you don't fall, balance.
Is that how we walk? We're gripping the floor with our feet? Is that, how many of you have your toes curling because you're internally rotated? Come on, be honest. Only the oddballs, right? Right, you think they are. But here's my input, and you guys just weigh this out and you tell me what you think about my response here. For a hip that doesn't want to internally rotate, that compensation is going to go down. It's going to go down towards the knees. So that's why I use that term, don't you monkey foot it. Did you hear me saying that last week? When people had the block between their feet and then the strap on their knees, don't you monkey foot it. So when a hip isn't willing to just move inwardly or even rotate inwardly, the foot starts compensating, and we'll do whatever we can do to get there all the way down to the end of our body. There's nothing more that can compensate. So this is kind of telling me that you got to hang on with your toes, because up here, it's done. It's gone as much as it can. It won't go anymore. So it's asking the rest of the leg, hey, can you hang on? She might even have some knees that are bending, or the foot starts lifting and she starts trying to turn in as much as she can because she's seeing, ooh, it stops here and it won't go the rest of the way. What do you guys feel about that description? Making a look, she's like, no, that's not what's happening. Does anybody have any input on why her toes might be curling? Minute and a half left. Mm-hmm. Okay, I like that. So she was explaining that she's doing this forward and back thing. So every once in a while, the toes are turning on, turning off, turning on. Is that accurate? Yeah, fair.
Yeah.
Fair statement. Very good. Is it getting better?
Well, I'm more conscious of it, so I
Right.
yeah, but it
Right.
does.
Yeah. One more minute. So what I thought of when you said my toes are curling, my dad, he's got these hammer toes going on now. Let me show you what he does. My dad is here. And I can't do it because he's almost bow-legged now. Hard-working man. And he walks like that. His toes are hanging onto the ground for dear life because this is not how you should be walking. So he's got hammer toes now. He's got foot cramps. And I remember he couldn't sleep for a while because he had the restless leg syndrome. His calves were, Dad, get your butt to work. Get this to work. Very stringy thighs because the quads are overworking and the butt is underworking. He's got the no acetol, right? He's taking that new drug, no acetol, because you have no acetol. Right. Can I get him on the ground to do a static back? Only when he's hurting real bad. Yeah. I know. You get on the ground. Come on out, everybody. Yeah, I know. The majority of everybody that's here, they're women. They're women. I've got a couple men, couple guys. Come on out of that, everybody. Okay. You might feel a little noodle legged. I usually do after that. How are you doing over there, Gloria?
An old broad.
Not bad for an old broad. I like it. Okay. We're going to get down on the floor now. I'm going to take you through ankle circles. We're going to do a little bit of frog. We're going to do pullovers. We're going to do static extension position. I'm sorry, but that's going to help keep the shoulders in alignment so we can affect the neck. So we're going to get down, lay down on the floor. If you don't like to do that, you can do this in a chair. We're going to do through ankle circles and point flexes, 40 each. So if you know what I'm talking about, get down and start doing it. Do 70, do 80, do 100, whatever it is. So ankle circles, point flexes are done with an arrangement in the body where we try to keep the ankles, knees, and hips in alignment. As you pull your knee towards your chest, I see it all the time. You just pull it out to the side. Oh, isn't that so easy? Don't do it. Keep it in line with the hip. If you're 9 months pregnant, okay, that's different. So if you've got a different shape in your belly and you can't pull that knee all the way in, okay, pull it in as much as you can, but I want you to keep it in line with the hip. That's going to keep these muscles active, the ones that I'm going after. We're going to take just the ankle through outward rotations. Do not move through your knee. I've seen the whole leg flying all over the place, up, down, up, down. Keep the knee still. This is for your ankle. The other thing I want you to do is to keep your hands behind your knee. Do you know why? I caught one of you or two of you putting your hands on top of the knee. Now, tell me what the difference is. Yes. So I don't want the heel to be dropped on your butt while you're doing this. I want your shin to be parallel to the floor. So if you have your hands on top of your knee, you're bending the knee as much as you can, and it's not 90 degrees. So this is kind of what we're looking for. We want 90 degrees isn't accurate. We're looking for parallel to the floor. Outward rotations. Think about your toes pulling you through. The other leg is straight along the ground. Some of you are not going to do that because it bothers you. Okay, go ahead and bend the knee, put it where you want to. We're going through outward rotations first. I love it. I love that you're using a block. The leg that's on the ground, in a perfect world, those toes should be pointed up towards the sky. I don't mean that you should dorsiflex the ankle hard, but I do mean that the knee and the toes should point towards the sky, so it's a little inward rotation. The leg isn't flopping out to the side. When you're done with your rotations, I want you to go in the other direction, inward rotation. Good luck. This can be very tiring. Don't you dare move through the knee. Watch your knee. No knee, ankle only. Ankle only. I'm coming. In fact, I'm going to use your strap. So you don't have to pull on your pants and stretch them out.
Oh,
There you go. Drop this ankle
I didn't know.
right here. Ankle.
Okay.
Ankle only. Good. Got it. This leg on the go. Oh, there you go. Feel that difference?
Okay.
It may get tiring, everybody. If it's tiring, just go to the other leg. Because we've got 3 exercises for each leg. Circles one way, circles the other way, and then point flex. You point your toes away from you and pull them back. Away and pull them back. Graham Hallberg. Miss Pat, drop your left heel about 6 inches. Lower, lower, right there. Work from there. Yes, ma'am. It's not, it's hitting your fingers, but it's parallel now. You are welcome. Miss Pierce, how come you didn't jump on her and say, hey, your leg isn't in the right position?
I don't know.
Huh, look at me, I'm doing it right. What are you doing, Pat? Oh yeah, superstar. I've been with Kim for over a year. Can't even do it right. When you're done. Right? Copycats. We're switching. So if you hit 40, 40, 40, we're switching the other leg. Everybody looks fabulous out there, fabulous. When we've done femur rotations in the past, we've gone in, and as everybody know, femur rotations, did them the other day. It's an internal, external rotation of from the hip, in, out, in, out. When we do that laying down, we did that funky move. Your foot compensates for what your hip won't do. So the foot starts to turn, and then the toes start to grab and turn in. And I'm usually walking around going, do it from your hip, not your foot. Now we want it from the foot and not the hip. Good, everybody. As soon as you're done, you could take yourself a break, even go into frog position if you want to, because that's what's coming up. That's what's coming up. Yes. So the routine is external rotation, 40, internal rotation, 40, point flex, 40. When I was just learning to do these routines years ago, the gentleman that I was working for gave us these routines sometimes, and he would give us 70 someday, 80 another day. So 40, it's kind of middle of the road. I know it doesn't feel like it's middle of the road. It feels really difficult. And thank you, Pat, for encouraging us to do this. This is part of Pat's 8 exercise routine. Linda, how come your hands aren't behind your knee? What's this? There you go.
So good to have my shoulders.
Okay, I understand. So that I'm glad she stopped herself instead of going, oh, I'm wrong. She just answered my question, and I accept that.
So good.
Okay, I accept it. Continue, carry on. Betty, heel, down. Lower, lower, right there. Circles, point flexes from there. When you're done, frog position. Just laying frog.
What is the frog?
Frog position with the legs. Lay back. Frog position. When you're done. So here's where you're at. Some of you have finished a lot quicker, and that's okay. Some of you have lost count. That's all right too. You'll be here forever. What I also wanted to touch on today was some of the side unders, lunges, and some of the harder work. Pat is going to help us do that because she encouraged us to do downward dog, ankle circles, point flexes. What else is on that list, Pat? I don't have the book in front of me. It was going to be hard today anyway. Good job, Gloria. It sounds like you're going off of the maintenance menu in the back. Is that right? Okay. Okay. She's doing the maintenance menu. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, kneeling groin stretch. I barely see that anymore. But that is a move that needs to be brought back, at least for me. I barely see people do that anymore. Okay, so everybody has finished their ankle circles, point flexes. We're hanging out in the frog position. This is where we're at, frog position. If your head ain't hitting the ground, you know you got to put a pillow underneath it. You want your face to be parallel to the ceiling. As parallel as you can get it. I don't want anybody with any neck cramps and issues.
Where should your feet be along this?
Good question. Bring them as close to your crotch as you can, kind of almost comfortably. You look great right there. There's a cute little question for people that love information. Where should your feet be? I'm not bashing you guys for asking questions, but sometimes this information can be overwhelming. In fact, when I take you through one of the next exercises, I'm going to give you all the information I can about it, and you'll notice you'll just have brain freeze. You'll be like, oh my God, there's so much, which is why intuition and feeling can be more important, because there's a knowing there without words, isn't there? When you know there's something wrong, or you know that something is right. This is good for me. This tastes good. You don't need to use words to describe it. You just, and your face lights up and your body knows and your heart elevates and all of these things happen. So information can be quite a damper on that. And it'll, yes, go ahead.
It's true when it comes to like positions, because sometimes.
Pullovers are next.
Sorry?
I'm just stating for other people, pullovers are next. Continue.
Oh.
Sorry.
Because sometimes we get comfortable in positions that aren't good for us. So
Ooh,
we might feel like, oh, this is good, like this, but in the end, we might actually be doing something that's not necessarily good for us. It might be
Good.
prolonging.
ooh. That was an excellent point. This is why I love philosophy. So we're getting into an adult discussion about when we get comfortable. And we get comfortable, and sometimes, she said, positions that are not good for us. Pullovers are next, everybody. So we're moving through the arms. Positions that aren't good for us in the long run. Then what of that? The elbows stay nice and straight when you're doing the pullovers, everybody. When you go through this for about 30 times, takes us about 2 minutes to go through. Elbows stay straight. Anybody want to chew on that with me? I can't decide whether, oh my gosh, whoever designed us, they're wrong because we feel so good doing stuff that's so bad. It's,
I mean, like a silly example
Yeah.
is, like sitting at night watching TV and you're slouching.
yeah, but slouching isn't bad. Let's keep it in terms of this class. So she was saying that when you're sitting at home, nice and comfortable watching the TV at night and you're slouching, are we designed to slouch? Thinking of this morning, actually. Is the human body designed to slouch? Sure, you're right. Think about it this way. This is what I used to give in my PowerPoint presentations. Look at this horse. Is the horse designed to do the backstroke? Right, you're laughing because you're like, there's no way it would do a backstroke. It's just not designed to do it. You have to break its legs and then it wouldn't be able to move. It can't do the backstroke. So I put the question to you again. Are we designed to slouch? Yes, we are. We're designed to ride a bicycle. We're designed to sit. We're designed to stand. We're designed to lay down. We're designed to do so many different things.
Slouching's the best.
Slouching's the best. Oh my gosh, if I still had a business, that would be the name of my website, slouchingsthebest.com. Good. Done with this. We're going to flip over to do static extension position. I know you guys hate that. Some of you love it. Some of you hate it. So static extension position stinks for you. You could do cats and dogs for the time that we're doing static extension position. So, I wouldn't say that slouching at night is a bad position. It can lead to bad stuff. And then when I look at my athletes who are moving and you think, oh, that's so great. They're so busy and they move and they got pain and they have problems too. My tennis players, my golf players, they show up like this. So whatever you're giving your body, it's memorizing that pattern. And if you don't interrupt it and give it as much as you can, or even sometimes in this class, as little as you can to interrupt it, it's going to stay there and remember that pattern. And then the pain starts. So we'll chew on that longer if you want to. 2 minutes. This move is a hands and knees move. Like I said, if you don't like this move, you can do a cats and dogs, and you could do that sitting in your chair. This move is hands and knees. Make sure everything's in alignment. Hands go under your shoulders, knees go right underneath your hips, hip distance. We're going to walk the hands forward 6 inches. It's a little step. Put your palm where your fingertips are. That's it. Then put your shoulders directly over your wrists again. It's such a little move. And then think like the sway back horse. Lauren out there, don't go too much with the sway back horse. So Lauren and I, we've got an issue where our backs kind of fold like a suitcase in the quote unquote wrong way. And so if I do any more sway back horse, I'm going to end up hurting myself right here. So Lauren and I end up in this predicament where this isn't such a good exercise often, but what you want to go for is the shoulders back and the pelvis and just a little anterior tilt. That's it. We're just loading the pelvis and head drops. So don't try to go too hard and go, push it. You're going to hurt yourself. It's just kind of a drop and hold. That's it. Think like the sway back horse. For people that have the pelvis that's tucked under, and you're in this rounded position, like a C curve, this is an awesome exercise for you. Pat, good alignment. I can tell all you yogis when you do the cats and dogs, you're actually going plantar flexion, dorsiflexion, flipping your ankles. I can tell the yogis. Head drops in this move if you are doing static extension position. 1 more minute. Miss Amy, looking good. Shift your weight forward about 4 inches. Keep going, keep going, keep going, right there. Hands okay, wrists okay? Drop your shoulder blades together. That's it. Nice. She's got it now. Are you okay, Denise? Denise McCann, you okay? I know. That's so you can do cats and dogs. Okay. Okay. A lot of you are going to hate this move because you're ending up way too far and way too deep. I'm coming. Sorry, I didn't catch you earlier.
No.
Right there.
Too far.
Move your hand. Yep, move your hands right back to here, my dear. Sorry about that. Usually when you get there, drop it. When you get there, you'd start feeling a lot of pressure here. And we don't want that. It's not a plank. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come on out. Denise, you stay right there. Miss McKay, you come on out. There's 2 Denises. Stay right there, my dear.
Am I crooked?
No,
Oh, I'm not forward enough.
there you are. That's the move. So when you do come,
More forward from my shoulders?
no. In fact, I would pull your hands back even another 4 inches. So the point of this move, let me just clear it up just a little bit more and I'll just get deeper into what this move is doing so that you can understand how to do it. Sometimes you have to explain what it's doing, what we're going after for you to completely understand it. So when you come into this move, yeah, our hips are loaded, but I'm increasing the load by moving the hips forward. Now the load really increases. Don't believe me? Go ahead and check it out. So put your hip right over your knee and then go ahead and move it forward and you'll start to feel, woo, hip flexors turning on. You'll start to feel the pull back here in your lower back from this muscle that starts here and ends here. So that's what I'm going for in this move. Hip flexor, turn on, recruit. So I'm killing a few birds with one stone. Believe it or not, that's the old school neck routine for realignment. It's really simple. I used to use it all the time. Frog, static extension position, pullovers, resetting the shoulder. What else you got for us, Pat? Static back. Go into static back, ladies and gentlemen. Bring your block with you and bring your strap with you. Static back, block and strap. Block and strap. I'm going to hit you harder later, but let's hit a static back now. Some of you really, really hate that move that we just came out of. You deserve a chocolate. Do you like chocolate? You like chocolate? Oh, she likes dark chocolate. How many of you eat chocolate? Whether it's white chocolate, dark, okay. Do you prefer white chocolate, dark chocolate, milk chocolate? What do you prefer?
Only dark.
Only dark. I'm hearing dark. Why? They say it's healthier. Okay, is that the say that it tastes better? You're right. Okay. Okay. Good to know. Because I was having this discussion with my boyfriend the other night. Like, no, everybody hates dark chocolate. They like white, they like milk chocolate. Milk chocolate is the best. Like, you got the palate of a 7-year-old. Come on. We got about 4 minutes, 3.5 minutes left here in this position. I'm putting the strap around my knees just because this chair loves to drop my leg off to the side. So you guys don't have to put any strap there.
We make it a strap tight.
No strap for your knees. You guys are good. In fact, the move that I'm going to take with you guys out of this is going to be a knee pillow squeeze first. Remember, if you can't do static back on the floor, some of you guys out there in TV land, you can certainly create these shapes in other ways. You can sit down and do these things. In fact, that's one of the things I was going to talk to you guys about today. Static back. Come on, you do this all the time at home. You take all these moves home with you. Palms up. Palms up. When you want to modify moves for yourselves, when your body has not given you input onto, gee, oh, I got this. Let me do this. I've got this inspiration. You can try to just mimic the shape that you're in. And that's what I have to do as a therapist, because I don't get the inspiration from people's bodies. Sometimes I get it myself and I have to throw some mud at the wall and see what sticks. But this move, laying down on the floor, static back, you can certainly mimic it. It's not going to be exactly the same just by sitting in a chair and having the chair hold you squarely. So if you're not sure how to modify different positions for yourself, just look at what's going on in the move and try to find another position that does the same thing. Last 30 seconds, and we're going to stick the block in between our knees at that time. But for now, just hang out. Leave your block nearby because we're going to do some block and strap stuff. We are going to touch on our kneeling groin stretch. And I hope we have time to do side unders and front unders and all that other hard stuff. Good. Excellent. I love how some of you guys are testing, putting a block underneath your head and then taking it out at some points and seeing, did anything change? Is something different? We want to make it so eventually you don't need a block or a pillow underneath your head when you're doing static back. Not trying to touch the ground, they're just relax them. Wherever they're at, they're going to be. Put the block between your knees, commence pressing. We're squeezing the block over and over. Let's do this for about 3 sets of 20. It takes about 2 minutes if you don't want to count. That's what I've ended up doing, is just timing these moves. This is static back knee pillow squeezes. It doesn't need a name. For some of you guys who love information, it does need a name. Excellent. Pretty simple move. I don't see anybody doing anything wrong, so I guess I don't have to correct anyone. It's so simple. It's so simple. There's very little you can do to mess this one up. I'll be hugging the block. We are squeezing the block and letting it go like thigh master. Squeeze, release, squeeze, release. It's squeezing your ankle into the wrong position. So you feel how your heels are touching? They actually shouldn't be. So if you put that strap around your ankles, it's pulling your left leg out of alignment. So I'm going to leave this here to hold that alignment. Continue squeezing in with your knee and relaxing over and over. We're going to do hip crossover stretch after this. And then we're going to take the strap and we're going to do work with the strap. Hip crossover stretch does not require a static back position. All the stuff is going to be out of the way because you need some space. We're going to hold it for 1 minute on each side. Everybody ready? Take your stuff out, kick the stuff away. You can do this sitting in a chair, kind of similarly. We're going to cross the ankle over to the knee, and then you could turn your body and hold if you're doing it in a chair. But on the floor, this is how this one works. Keep your feet in alignment with your hips. I always do this, ankles and knees together, and walk the feet out, heel, toe. And usually that's hip distance for me. I'm gonna cross the right ankle to the left knee. Don't do this, you newbies. That's cheating. Because when I come back, oh, gee, where did I start? Oh, we start here for a reason. Stay here. When we twist, it looks like this. You're going to feel tightness. You might even be hanging out here because, oh my gosh, I'm so tight. You might end up here. Okay. But don't do this to cheat. Don't you dare slide that bottom leg. Going to hold 1 minute each side. Cross the ankle over. Arms out to a T, palms face down. Twist. Here's where I'm going to overload you with information. Are you ready? The sole of your foot should be hitting the ground in a perfect world. The outside of your knee should be hitting the ground in a perfect world. Point your knee up towards the sky as well. So there's outward rotation through your hips. So that right knee should point up towards the sky while you do it. Linda, come this way if you can. If you're not, stay right where you are. Here's the other thing. I want you to spread across your wingspan as if you're trying to increase the distance between your middle finger on your left side and the middle finger on your right side. So you get a nice long reach. So spread across your wingspan. Here's another one. I want you to push the inside edge of your right foot to the floor. At the same time, you're going to be drawing your right knee away from you. So for those of you that have the foot on the floor, inside edge should be touching the floor while the right knee draws away from you. And here's another point. You're going to turn your face away from you towards the right. You hear all that information? It makes you not want to do this move. Come on out and switch. Do the same thing on the other side. Remember everything? Information overload. There you go. Just get it done. Right? Just get it done. Get it done. You want me to tell you all the muscles that work in here and how much percentage and how much heat we're burning? And you don't need all that information. The information overload. Good. So you got the left ankle to the right knee. We're twisting. And it's feeling good. Feels like work, but it's feeling good. Looking great back there, Carol. Remember that top leg that's up there and the knee is bent? You do want to try to point that knee to the sky. So there's going to be work in your hip to draw that knee away from you. You don't want it to flop in on your belly or on your boobs. You want to draw it away from the chest, away from the chest. Good, 30 more seconds. Not easy for some of us.
Yeah.
And for some of us, it's so easy, we need that extra information that I gave you. You're so involved in this move and you've done it for so long that you need that extra edge. Pat, try to push the instep of your foot on the floor. Yes, same time, draw your knee away from you. There you go. Right? That information overload is kind of helpful for you here because you're ready for it. Everybody ready? Come on out. Stay in the hook lying position, put your strap around your knees, and we're going to press out on the strap over and over and over again for about 2 minutes. So the strap is around my knees. I'm in the hook lying position, so my knees are bent. You can definitely get this move done sitting in a chair. In fact, I think we did it last week where we held for like 8 minutes.
Are they supposed to be together?
No way. What do you think the knee placement should be at? Hip. Excellent. Excellent. Knee should be hip distance. Denise, put it on like a prom dress. Like a prom dress. Yes, that's it. Yes, ma'am, it is. So you want the strap, even though I said around your knees. That's the only way I can describe. Does anybody have any better way to describe how you put the strap on the legs? It goes, your legs go through the loop. How about that? Put your legs through the loop. They have to be through the loop, both of them. I'd go even narrower. Think about how wide the block is that you put between your knees. Does that make sense? Cool. You look great. Feet as well. Perfect. Push and release over and over. Yeah, you might call it a pull. Right. Onto the strap in that direction. Feel the resistance, push against the resistance, and then release. And push and release over and over. That's it. Are you okay, Carol? Looks like you got to hang on to that. But do you want this strap instead? Okay. Are you okay? Hey, Denise, somebody else is getting a cramp finally. It's not you. We're going to tighten this up, all right?
Even more.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's put the block in between your knees.
Yeah, that's a good
See the
way to
space?
decide.
Mhm.
Okay.
Give me some, yeah, there,
Sorry.
loosen up. It's okay. Try that there.
Oh,
Yeah. And I'm going to put your feet in the same position too. When I'm by myself, this is what I do.
Okay.
And then I could take the block, out,
Great.
right?
Okay.
Hey, doing Joe. Good. This might not make any difference, but this is just what I see. Okay. So you had your heels pretty darn close to your butt. Mhm. You're very welcome. Denise, you okay? Cool. Yeah, come in.
Just massage my cramp. No.
You got it. And I was about to. You want me to just see if there's anything off?
Yeah.
Okay. I would move this to the left. This is a tough move to get in alignment, especially for people who are super crooked, if you don't first do knee pillow squeezes. Because there's such a tendency to pull with one leg and it'll yank the other leg with it. And it kind of throws the body out of balance if it's not already as close to in balance as we can get it. That's why I always give you guys knee pillow squeezes first, because when you go in and you squeeze on a block, it tends to balance out the body. That's why I always do a knee pillow squeeze first, and then I'll give you guys this. I've watched it too far just fail again and again for too long. So
This is great for my shoulders or my back. I'm squeezing, I'm not supposed to, squeezing my back to the floor. Up here.
if you like that, go for it. So she's killing
Yeah.
two birds with one stone over there. It's not what I would do in a therapy session, but for you, when you don't do this during the rest of the week, whatever you discover for yourself here during this day is a win. It's a win. It's a win. Yes. Oh, and my question was she has a butt cramp. So my question was gonna be, what the heck muscles are we going for here? Did somebody say gluteal? Gluteal, yes. What's the glute? Your butt. Someone had a butt cramp. Yay, it finally turned on. Sorry, it had to be Denise. I'm sorry. I do, because that means that things are moving. Then it's working. You should take me out to lunch, see how excited I get over food. Oh my God, this is the best food in the world. This is so good. I am weird. I get excited over the cramps because it's indicating to me what's happening. All right, guys, we're going to do downward facing dog after this. If that stinks for you, you can take it on the wall. Same idea. Downward facing dog is just this shape. I start from hands and knees. I tuck my toes and my butt lifts. It's just a shape. So can you get this done on a wall? Absolutely. Can you get this done hanging off a counter? Absolutely. You can get this done hanging off of a chair. It's a little low, but it's same idea. Same idea here. So it can still get done. We're going to hold it for a minute. Hold it for a minute. And there's a lot of caveats in downward facing dog. It's supposed to be a pull back from your hips rather than a push back from your arms, but I don't think any of us can do it at all from that without help. So just do the best you can. That's why I bend my knees, because I am actually trying to pull myself back. It's almost like a squat in a funky position. It's like a weird squat for me. So I'm trying to turn on my hips while I do this instead of turning it into some sort of a handstand. We got 30 more seconds.
You're back for me.
Then we're going to have some fun with some side unders and then we'll figure it out. I would stink at a yoga class today. Of course, your feet are straight. Best you can make it. Okay, come on out. Side unders is going to take a little bit of creativity. I don't have a limbo line for us. When we were in the smaller room, we were actually able to do it. It's too many people for me to pull it off here. So you're going to think that there's a limbo line here. You know what limbo is, right? Yeah, limbo. So here's my limbo line. I'll show you what it looks like from the side for you guys in TD land, all that other good stuff, but this is the best way to look at it. We're not going under the limbo line like this. We're going to step under it sideways. But when you do it, I want you to think about the frontal plane. Keep this square straight ahead. Don't try to deviate. Your body's going to do it. It's going to cheat. It's going to try to avoid the work by twisting. Don't do it. I don't care how low you go because it's an imaginary line. My cues are like this. Break it down. Extend the leg. I know it looks pretty when I'm doing it. It's not going to look so pretty when you guys do it. So notice when I'm doing this, I'm not shifting my weight. I can put the leg back and I'm still in this squat position. Keep the weight on the leg that you're standing on. We want to load the hip. My feet are parallel. See that too? Now we shift the weight. It's like a mirror image position on the other side. Replace the leg, stand up. It looks so simple. We're going to segment it. Just have fun. I don't care if you twist out of it and you, oh, okay, do your best. Kind of like that, yeah. Kind of like you're sitting on a chair, but look down at your feet. Right, try to turn them straight. It's just a squat. It's a squat. Break it down, extend the leg, shift the weight, replace the leg, stand up. Good, 2 minutes, go. Break it down, extend the leg, shift the weight, replace the leg, stand up. Good, I'm watching you, Denise. Break it down, extend the leg. You shift the weight as you extend. Try to keep it loaded, unless you have terrible pain. Keep it loaded. This leg should be really light. If it's not able to be light, you're loading it. Break it down, extend the leg. Notice when I extend the leg, see how light it is? I'm one leg in it. Shift the weight. Continue. Good. That's what I think of in my mind. Break it down, extend the leg, shift the weight, replace the leg, stand up. Good. You're not going to trip. Go ahead. It's tough because you slide. Maybe do it sideways here so that you don't slide. Give that a shot. Break it down. Extend the leg. Turn your foot straight, parallel. Yes. Now shift your weight. Replace the leg. There you go. Try it again. Break it down. Extend the leg. Shift your weight. Stand up. You got it. 20 seconds. If it feels like, oh, this is kind of easy, get your hips lower. That's the point of this move, is to get hip function back. I'm not the best, but believe it or not, I should be able to get my butt pretty close to the floor right now without my feet moving. I can't. I have to turn out or I'll fall back because this ain't working anymore. Not to that degree. Do I have to? Great, everybody. That was 2 minutes. These are side unders. Fantastic. What move are we going to end with? I know you said air bench. How many of you like air bench? Nobody likes air bench. Arm circles? Okay. And they're not for everybody. Some of you don't like arm circles, but some of you at home who already know they don't like arm circles, do an air bench. Do an air bench. So arm circles. Air bench is against the wall. There's your air bench. I'll do the arm circles. Okay, arm circles. I do it on my knees because it stops me from doing this sway back thing that my body likes to do. Hands come into the modified golf grip, which looks like this. You can do this standing up. You don't need to do it on your knees. I do it on my knees because of my deformity. It's where my body likes to default. We're going to keep that grip. If you're doing this standing, just make sure your feet are straight ahead. Squeeze the shoulders together. Arms come out. Circle up and forward 40 times. Keep your belly relaxed. If you suck it in, right, ladies, all of us, if you suck it in, the body isn't going to do this and it's not going to hit the hips. So we got to kind of let it hang out. Whatever it is, let it hang out. I'm not looking. Just let it hang out so that this perturbance translates down into the hips. Palms will go up once you've hit 40 and your thumbs point behind your circle, up and back. Sometimes doing that noise helps me relax my belly. We've been taught to consistently suck it in. We really have been. And it's causing so much dysfunction. When you circle back, palms go up, yes. And when you're done, you're done. And I'll see you guys next time. Is that a 9 or a 4? We got 5 minutes. Okay, we got 5 minutes. I'm sorry. I'm gonna hit you harder. Let's do it. I'm gonna hit you harder. We are going to do side angle. Spread your legs open really wide. Really wide. Wide as you can, but stay in control. Think about the imaginary wall behind you. I want you to try and stay stuck to that. You're going to turn your right toes out at 90 degrees. Notice how your body probably started to twist already for a hip that's getting tight and doesn't want to do it. Try to keep it square, just like we did with the side unders. Now bend through the knee. Ooh. Everything stays square. Try to keep that knee tracking over the toes. Arms out to the side. Lean over. No knee leaning. So I'm leaning in the direction of my bent knee. It's not supported side angle. This is side angle. So get your hands off your knee. Off, let it hang. If it's too much for you, then don't do it for as long or just come up a little bit higher. Your choice. Give me 10 more seconds. Everything against that wall. Face forward, best you can. Nice and square. Where's that wall? All back here. Arms. Aha. 5, 4. I did. You guys are witnesses. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come out. 30 seconds each side. Switch. Side angle. In yoga, sometimes they call it the supported side angle. No support in this class. 0 support. You're on your own. Square it off. Bend the knee. Lean over. Think about the imaginary wall behind you. Ooh, pretty good. Woo, nice. Same time, try to pull this towards the oh, there you go. A little more work, right? Yeah. 10, 9, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Finish with a 5 breath squat. Feet are straight ahead. Arms don't have to come out in front of you. They can come here. They can come here. I'm just trying to keep my shoulders back and down and reteach my arm to come along for the ride. That's all. Think about that S-curve in your spine. So I'm not here. This is not Utkatasana. So I want to keep here. And then we're done. Why did I finish out with this after the other 2 moves we did? Good. She's showing me with her body. Well, it's both sides at once. It's a bilateral move. Good. Thank you, everybody in TV land. Hitomi, we're good. Anybody have any questions? Unmute yourselves. I'm here. Thank you for being here.